think that was the goal of it, since it's like right here, and then make this kind of like a little community, almost like a retirement community, but they're calling it resort style living is what they're calling it.
Yeah, that's nice. I like it.
I thought something felt weird.
Drivetrain malfunction. Not advanced. Maximum output not available.
Hello.
Eddie.
Yeah.
I'm driving the X5. It's saying drivetrain malfunction.
And it's doing a jittery thing.
It's like shaking. I'm gonna pull over and like try to restart it.
I knew.
Getting out of the car.
No. Just stay in. You can stay in the car. Just turn it off. Turn it off. Let it sit for a minute. Engine off. Radio off.
Parking mode on.
I pushed the stop button twice.
Okay, radio's off. Everything's off. Let the car sleep for just maybe 10 seconds.
I get so mad.
Drivetrain malfunction could be coils. It could be spark plugs. It could be. But the way you tell me what the engine's doing, that tells me it's got to be an issue related.
Yeah, it's like a washing machine, exactly.
My black did that before when the spark plugs were due. And the only way I knew it was because I was on my way to work, and then it came up and said drivetrain malfunction in the car. I thought maybe the engine blew up or something. And it turned out it was the spark plug, spark plug, and I was good to go.
Well, I find it hard to believe that the spark plugs were fine 10 minutes ago, and now all of a sudden they don't work.
Well, that's exactly what happened. It was like the car ran fine for all this time, and then all of a sudden...
Simulator is almost complete. So I got my rudder pedals, got keyboard, joystick. I'm running an Xbox right now. If I decide I want to go further with this, I can easily change this over to, well, not easily, it'd probably be more expensive, but I want to eventually be able to get a gaming computer, but I want to see how much I'm going to use this. Anyone has any advice how to get these things set up? Network attached storage. Been working on this feature as well. Here comes Oliver. And Lexi. Here's the thing, babe.
Here's the thing, you get about 20 minutes before I'm like hangry. So you get about 30 minutes before dinner needs to be like ready.
Okay.
So you have 30 minutes to do whatever you're going to do up here, whether you work out or do a video. But you have 30 minutes.
All right. Love you. All right. Don't, men out there, don't piss off your pregnant wife. If she's hungry, you need to go ahead, get it taken care of. Let's just skip all the BS. This is the real reason why you clicked in the video. This is the real reason why I'm making the video right now. It's because of the X5. It is down. It is down the first time that I'm having to deal with this. I know it's been a long few days planning. We had the baby shower and everything else, had family from out of town. Finally got time to settle down. I told Lexi, I said, I'm gonna work out, but I wanted to work on this. I wanted to film this video really quick before we get too involved. But anyway, here's what I got. You can see here, it's got plugs, coils, fuel injector cleaner. I did more plugs, coils. Here's what happened. I was at work. Obviously, you know, Lexi's driving the X5M until we get her X3M 40 in. And she was out, went to coffee with her mom. Turns out that she said, hey, she called me out at work and I'm like, what's up? She says, something's wrong with the X5. What's going on? She said, drivetrain malfunction. You know, drive moderately, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, must be spark plugs. Always spark plugs, usually most likely forward closed. I was like, when's the last time I changed them? I changed them around 50,000 miles, almost at 70,000 miles now. When you run tuning, I think they say around 20,000 miles when you should start to change them, your intervals. So I thought, it's great. Let me just order plugs real quick. I'll do that and we'll go from there. So I changed the plugs, swapped some coils around. I got some coils I can use, popped in there real quick. And still not working. I don't want to crank the car up more than it should, but I'll show you the clip of it now, how it sounds. All right, it seems like something's wrong with this. Start it up again. So as you can see, that is rough idle. Car feels like you're in a washing machine as the engine feels like you're doing this. Really rough. She was able to let the car home just a couple miles away. But now I just worry what else is going on because the plugs didn't fix it. So it's not the plugs. First, why is there oil on one of the plugs? But what else could be going on with the X5M? So this is beyond me. I'm kind of just, I don't want to keep throwing things at it right now. I've checked the ignition. It could be fuel related, not sure yet. So my next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the car. I have an appointment scheduled at my local BMW dealer, and I'm gonna have the car, I don't know if it's safe to drive or not. I may have the car towed, but we'll go from there. This is not good. I'm hoping that it's not gonna be, I'm hoping that it's something simple, like, hey, I didn't see the coil down or something's just, I'm hoping it's something simple. Let's put it that way. I'm at 60, I think 60, let me see where miles I'm at. $68,364. So, let you guys know it's something in a week. Fortunately, now we're getting rainy season. I need tires on the M3. I have Type R. It's just, right now, things are getting tight. The maintenance coming up, I already told you I'm planning to do the brakes and rotors on this thing. And things are really starting to come up pretty quickly on these things. So, hope it's not too detrimental. I'm a little worried, but what can you do? I'll keep you updated once the car gets fixed, or I may just make it in one video when the car is like up on, just that way I can have a conclusion. All right. Kind of sometimes people miss my second follow-up videos. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching. All right. X5 was just sitting here. It's been 2 days. 2 days. Let me explain what happened. So I ordered spark plugs, I ordered coils. I was able to find spark plugs, and I overnighted this stuff, by the way. So when she told me everything was going on, I overnighted all the parts, but I was able to find spark plugs at my local O'Reilly Auto Parts. And they were the NGK, the 97506. So I was like, okay, perfect. These are the spark plugs running. So I went ahead and, gapped them down, threw them in real quick. And the coils, since I knew they weren't going to be, wouldn't swap those out, thought maybe I'll put some old coils I had. This was from an upgrade. So I tried, so I threw these in. Now these were something that I was experimenting with. These are the Bosch plugs. So these are what pretty much you do for any OEM. But when I did my plugs last time, I went ahead and decided just to go ahead and go with a coil just to replace it, because when I had the tune, the car wouldn't run fine on the tune. I don't know if you remember that video or not. The car ran perfectly fine under the stock power. It just didn't like the tune. So anyway, long story short, replace all 8 the coils, as well as brand new spark plugs. The car still didn't run. I was thinking, okay, this is maybe injector, something else beyond what I was thinking that was going on with the car. Well, day later, my coils that overnighted arrived. So before I went to the dealership, I said, let me throw those in real quick. Because if I take the dealership and they tell me you got a bad coil pack, I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, so let me just rule out everything I can do myself. So I tossed them in, took me about 20 minutes, pop them out, pop them back in real quick, brand new ones. And said, okay, and this is right for my appointment at the dealership. Crank the car up. It started up fine. It ran fine. And I was like, okay. So I told Lexi, I said, the car's running fine. The check engine light cleared itself. It turned itself off, everything. I said, all right, let me see. Is this really a thing? Is it maybe just coincidence? So I said, let me just drive to the dealership anyway. That way, if it pops on the way there, at least I'm close by to the dealership. And I have an appointment. So I went ahead and drove there, and I drove the out of that car the whole way there, because I said, this light is, if there's something wrong going on, it's gonna happen while I'm driving right now. So I pushed it. You know, once it was warmed up, and I jumped on the highway, and I, punched it again, ran it about 120, and it still ran perfectly fine. So went to the dealership, and then my appointment, and I said, hey, this is what happened. Have an appointment set up, but what should we do? So they gave me some advice, and they said, well, nothing that, that the codes have cleared itself. I mean, they can probably dive in deep to try to find something, but really, what it sounded like to me was going to be a waste of money for me and waste of time. So I just said, you know what, let me just take the car back home and go from there. And if it comes back on, we'll go from there. And anyway, it's been a couple days later, and the car's running perfect. Lexi's driving it to work, and here we are. So I thought, what turned out to be what I thought when a scary video was probably, it could have been one of my coil packs are bad, or perhaps one of them wasn't seated down properly when I did the exchange, because when I did it overnight, it was actually on Halloween night, and I was sort of in a hurry, but I was also tired after working a long shift, so who knows. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm glad that this wasn't more serious than what that is, and I can't wait to get the X5 back. This is, it seems like Lexi is getting the worst luck with this X5. I don't know what it is. But anyway, thanks for watching.